Yeah.
Too dramatic. Too dramatic.
What up, though? OG Kenny, O_G_ Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV. Welcome to another Let's Not Forget Friday. And I'm in Virginia still, man. I'm in Virginia, and I'm taking y'all to 1999, July. Actually, July the 21st, 1999. An individual, a man, who had been in prison since at least 1990. Right? Convicted for first degree, premeditated homicide, as well as abduction and kidnapping, sentenced to death in the slaying of a 19-year-old who was a sophomore at the James Madison University. And this was a young lady, Leanne Whitlock. A baby, like I always say, these babies, man. This was a baby who was taking care of her business, going to school, and had high hopes of being something one day, Had her own vehicle, you understand what I'm saying? Had credit cards. So, the man we speaking of right now was Tommy David Strickland, who at the time of committing this crime was 24 years old, 23 years old. So pretty much a young man himself, right? Not a baby, not like Leanne Whitlock, not 19 years old, not going to college. He, along with another accomplice of his, his accomplice rather, both around the same age, both 23, 24 years old, one Ronald Lee Henderson, they decide that they were going to, according to eyewitnesses, abduct this young lady from a mall. There have been various witness accounts that say they seen them earlier that day, had interactions in the mall, in the shopping area, close to a record store. The case happened like this. This young lady's at a mall. I'm not sure who she was with. However, they have various witness accounts that said they saw these two individuals. One lady described Tommy Lee Strickland as Mountain Man and described Ronald Lee Henderson as the Shy Guy. They were both following her and with her at certain points, and then they actually had a witness account that said they saw her being assaulted by these two individuals, right? And jumping into a vehicle. So a manhunt ensues. They're looking for this young girl. She's nowhere to be located. They find her, unfortunately, and they find her, unfortunately. And unfortunately, they found her slain in a rural area of Augusta County in Virginia's Shenandoah Valley. 69-pound boulder was used to mash her skull in and end her young life. 69 pounds of a stone, and then you add that with the velocity of pressure that comes from a grown man picking that up and dropping that. That's a lot of pressure, and that's a tragic situation. So July 21st, 1999, I'm in Jared, Virginia, right? Y'all know that. I'm in Jared, Virginia. I'm in Greensville Correctional Facility. They lock us down early. They locked us down hella early. And this was the first time they did that. And we don't know what's going on. Being that we dudes from Michigan and whatnot, we really not acclimated to how Virginia doing things. Let me let this one down so I cut this air off. We're not acclimated to how Virginia does things at this point, right? We do know that this is a Commonwealth state. They do have capital punishment, right? So we're aware of that. Let me explain something. We asked the correction officers, why are they locking us down early? What's the problem? Guess what they say? They're about to carry out an execution. Right? And we like, an execution? You mean like death row? They like, yes, death row. So that everybody don't get excited and riled up, we lock y'all down early, and this is how we do things to keep things down. I'm like, wow, that's deep. Fast forward an hour or two later, we watching the local news. Boom, 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 breaking news. Tonight, Greensville Correctional Facility officials put Tommy, however they described it, put Tommy David Strickland to death by lethal injection. his final words minutes before they coursed these dangerous chemicals into his vein, these deadly chemicals into his vein, was that I am innocent. I did not do this. I pray that everybody finds the same peace of mind. So to hit, because like he was trying to get back in court, saying that his accomplice actually did it, based on the loose testimony of one of the witnesses who at first said she couldn't identify who was the perpetrator, but then later on she said, I have great memory and I've had prior I have outstanding memory, and I have prior engagement with this individual, the perpetrator, so I know it was him without a doubt, and blah blah blah. So that's what ultimately, along with other witness accounts, as well as there were several Caucasian male hairs at the scene of the crime, 3 of which belonged to Tommy Davis Strickland. So that was his fate, right? His co-defendant, Ronald Lee Henderson, ended up getting 3 life sentences for the same charges. And he was eligible for parole in 2000. I think July, what was that? 2008 for sure. July 29, 2008, he was eligible for parole. When Tommy Davis Strickland was executed, that made the 9th person that year Virginia had executed, the 68th person overall since the state had reenacted the death penalty in 1982. But my first time coming that close to somebody being executed, I'm a young man. This was like mind blowing to me. Like most of these experiences I'm experiencing up to this point, I'm like, wow, they really just like. I mean, I know people, they say crime and punishment, eye for eye, I guess, but it's just like, man, I don't know how I feel about capital punishment still. Because some of these situations, man, it's like, wow, it's heinous, it's very heinous crime, especially against women, children, elderly, vulnerable people. My thing is, I never want to play judge, jury, and executioner, right? And then I always say that I think that a lot of people have redemptive qualities, right? But it's hard to look past some of these heinous crimes that have been committed against vulnerable people, against the elderly, against women, against children, right? So when you look at some of these heinous crimes that we're talking about, it's not hard to see why some people advocate for capital punishment. I still don't know how I feel about it. I want y'all to let me know how y'all feel about capital punishment. This was a 19-year-old young woman, lost her life out at the mall, lollygagging or having fun like most young people do, right? Got abducted by these 2 men. They kidnapped her for sure. They have never. I've not seen anything that alluded to anything of a physical or sexual assault, rather. But come on, either way, you took this young lady's life, senseless, right? So do you agree with capital punishment in all situations, in some situations, or in no situations? How y'all feel about that? This was my first time experiencing that, and it's relevant because, like I said, I was in Virginia. This not the. I'm gonna have, look. It's more. They executed about 4 or 5 dudes when I was down there, and I'm gonna have to just remember, because I remember I had a little list. I used to write them down on a calendar. Like I got an old little, not a calendar, but Our Daily Bread, and I got it somewhere. If I can find that bad boy, I'm going to figure out them other dudes' names, because I got them wrote down. It's in my Foot Locker or something. When I figure it out, I'm just going to do like probably one episode compiling all of these dudes' names and just cover them all about all the dudes that I seen executed while I was doing time in Virginia outside of Tommy Davis Strickland. Rest in peace to Leanne Whitlock. I pray that her family has found some peace and solace since her untimely demise. And I pray that she's resting well in God's bosom. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to another Let's Not Forget Friday. I'm back in my mojo, so I got to get my editing game back up. My laptop finally came back. See, y'all didn't know my MacBook had some severe damage to it, so I had to mail it out because I didn't want to do nothing with this local company I had been dealing business with. It took them too long last time to do something with my business, so I mailed it out. I had to do rebuild and reconstruction things, new BIOS, passwords, all type of stuff. And because it got corrupted. So now I'm back into my editing bag, right? So I'm about to be doing better editing for you guys. Because right now, everything been for the most part simple. But I love y'all for keeping up with me. I love y'all for keep tuning in. O_G_ Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, to get in the comment section so we can talk about how y'all feel about capital punishment. Don't forget to like the comment, and always feel free to share it. And I'm out.